Hi, George. How are you today?
I am fine, Heather. How are you?
I'm very excited to be here with you, actually. So this is exciting for me.
Good. What can I do for you?
Well, I have a few questions for you today. One of them, because I've been reading about you and just been absolutely fascinated by you, as you've done so much. You were Donald Trump's right-hand man for 47 years. You were advisor on The Apprentice and an author, and you've done all these really cool things. But one of the things in one of your interviews that actually truly piqued my interest was your experience in the Army. You had joined the Army for a year and 8 days, I believe.
That is correct.
Can you tell me a little bit about that? Like, why just a year and 8 days?
Well, it just turned out that way. When I joined up, it was for an unlimited amount of time. It wasn't a year and 8 days, and I enlisted, but I didn't know for how long. The war was over, and it turned out later on I had the choice of being in the Army. I could sign up for 2 years and then it would discharge me, or I could do what they called the duration plus six, whatever that was. Army works for nothing. And I didn't trust the Army at all, so I said, I'll take that. The reason it happened to be a year and 8 days is they decided I should be discharged before a year, but I was in the hospital with a broken ankle, and that took me beyond a year. So now in a year and 8 days, but the beauty part of it is I didn't have to go to Vietnam because I went beyond the year.
And oh wow, that's incredible. That was
Yeah,
lucky.
so that kept me out of the next war.
Boy, oh man, you can't get luckier than that. Wow.
That's what you call lucky.
No kidding. How did you get involved in the Trump organization for so long? That's a long career.
No, the Trump organization I got involved had a very successful law firm with a lot of lawyers doing nothing but real estate, and I was introduced to Donald Trump through his father, through Fred
Okay.
Trump. And his father said that Donald wanted to do something in New York. Would I look after him? Could I be his lawyer? And the answer was yes. So I started with him as a client, and that was it. And then our paths separated for a while, but we got back together when I was thinking of retiring. And he basically talked me out of it. Said, "No, come with me. I'd like your opinion, and we'll have fun. We'll build buildings. We'll do all kinds of good things," which was true.
Wow.
So that lasted for 16 good years.
Wow. And what year was that you started with them?
So this is in 19. I was in 16 years. Go back to I resigned in 2015.
Oh wow.
2015 that I resigned. That was to go back 15 years beyond. Then the at the end of the 19 something. And
Wow.
yeah, it was very enjoyable. I would say enjoyable. It was interesting. I was there because I wanted to be there, not because I had to be there.
Yeah.
The question of money wasn't there. It was I was intrigued by what he was doing and how he operated, how a big businessman operated, and he had me there as an advisor to give him my advice, and there was no strings attached. I never told him what he wanted to hear. I told him what I thought was right.
Well, that's probably why he wanted you there.
That's right. And it was very important if you had somebody that, if like a coach in one form or another, they'll tell you like it is, not necessarily how you would like it to be.
Well, that's a really important thing when you're moving forward in business. If someone's just kind of blowing
and exciting, sure. I saw him from where he went to become a billionaire.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then on to the presidency. So
yeah, I mean that's quite the career he's at. I think
it certainly is.
That's something else, and the fact you were along there with them is quite exciting.
Yeah, it was very interesting.
Yeah, I bet there was a lot of highlights during that whole time, like that kind of thing, especially in New York at that time. Would have been a lot of different buildings being purchased and rehabilitated, or
yeah. Oh, his mind was very active, and he would do anything that made sense.
Well, that's
he built a tremendous organization.
Wow. So after you retired, now you're doing all these really wonderful interviews, and thank you for that, and thank you for your time. I sure appreciate it. I've been really looking forward to talking to you. What are you doing now with your time during COVID?
Well, with COVID, I'm talking to wonderful people like you all over the world. One of the things that COVID has accomplished, unintentionally, but it happened, is the ability to talk to somebody one-on-one without being in the same room and without the interruptions of having a whole group of people vying for your time.
Yeah.
So now you have it. So it's the virtual aspect is wonderful. It's as
Isn't
close
it?
as you can get to being face to face.
Well, it must be, it's something else considering like from even 30 years ago to where we are now. It's really mind blowing. And I don't know that I have a hard time thinking that'll happen again, that like that much technology change moving forward. Because it's
Now you
something.
watch, there'll be more.
You think so? Oh, wow. It's hard for me
Technology
to,
would just scratch the surface.
oh, that's exciting to think.
Yeah.
Gosh, I
Well,
can't even
you got to
imagine.
keep, it's something you got to keep up to. It affect everybody's lives and their businesses.
Yeah. You know,
So
and I'm,
if anybody who's not interested in technology is living in the past,
oh
you
yeah,
want
they
to
need to catch up.
succeed in anything at that point, you're going to have to be aware of what's available. Not necessarily that it works for you, but be aware of what's available.
Isn't that
Going
true?
light years ahead.
You know, that's true. And as a small business owner myself, being a flower shop, and you know, we sell flowers, but in my company, I try to keep up with as best I can with technology because it's really important to provide that service to my clients and all that. So it's been a
Well,
real
that's true, and
change.
it's changed. Even your industry's changed.
Yes,
The concept of flowers previously was, I'll give flowers, but there had to be a special occasion.
yes,
All right, right. So it's a wedding, or it's an anniversary, or it's a birthday, or something like that, without understanding the beauty of the flowers themselves. It's a living thing.
it's
And
wonderful.
to see it, to see the change, and see the colors or whatever. So you can come up with something new, and what? It's just say, to send it to somebody and say, I'm thinking of you, and this is what I said. That doesn't have to, it could be a single rose, could be
Yes,
anything. But the
anything.
idea of using flowers not for a special occasion, but for ordinary times, just as a remembrance or something of beauty.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear you say that because there's been a lot of research in my industry with Rutgers University, and they've actually scientifically proven that flowers can improve the lives of seniors. Actually, it improves their social skills, they have better memory, they become happier, and that's just by being around a bouquet in their house every week.
I
Scientific.
did. My daughter got involved with a hospital, and what they were doing is with seniors that were in the hospital, have them do gardening in their room, to
In
build,
their
to have
room.
put a plant or something at this point, or see something grow on this windowsill, and use that as therapy. And it was
Wow.
wonderful at this point because good. What happens? Somebody gets up in the morning and they see a sprout.
Yes.
Now you're looking at something living, even though you're in the years where you're not going to have that much more living to do. So it's therapeutic.
It is so therapeutic. It's proven to be. That's really wonderful that they do that because I'm going to have to pass that little tidbit along to our workers. And now it's a little bit difficult, but you know, there's something to be said about having to care and nurture for something. And
Absolutely, and see
it's,
something grow. And I think something growing watching something grow is it's enlightening. It's invigorating. It's good to see. Take a seed or see something, and it was nothing, and in a few days or weeks or a month, and it turns into something important.
yeah,
So when I
yeah,
have friends, any friends, I say, don't send me flowers, send me plants.
that was your thing, the plants.
I want to see the plants. I want it to grow. I don't care where it is at this point, but I want to see it now, not for a short period of time where you just
Yes.
see the blossoms and you see it change, but I want to see it grow for a long time.
Well,
And
that's
then
why,
you
you
can
know,
remember because you have the plant who sent it to you and what the occasion was.
oh man, you have such great insight into our industry, and considering you're not in the flower industry, it obviously has resonated with you over your lifetime to have plants and things like that, with spring being rejuvenating and all the flowers. And do you go outside a lot and enjoy all that?
No, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And one of the things one of the experiences you had with flowers was to spend time in Kuchenhof. I
Wow.
went to the gardens there, and that'll blow your mind. You
Oh,
want to see thousands of different kinds of tulips, but you have to be enamored with nature and the variations.
yes.
So you look there, and all of a sudden you're seeing black tulips, or you're seeing colors you never saw before, all the variations which they do. And you're looking and saying, wow, look
Oh,
at this.
wow.
This is not, I don't have a red rose, I got a purple or green rose, or whatever it is. It opens your mind to the possibilities of nature.
I think that going somewhere like that, or any garden really, that's of that
Any garden,
any
any
garden,
garden.
you know, you walk in there, and I don't care if you're the biggest skeptic in the world, you're going to walk out of there feeling a little bit lighter on your feet.
Yeah.
I think so. I think you're right. Oh, wow. Well, this has just been so exciting for me. I am so happy that you find flowers to be an asset in your life. That just warms my whole heart. So thank you. I'm just going to tell everybody, well, he said it.
No, you haven't. And the things happen weird. Had a plant, and I said the plant is dead. All right, so I put it out in the garage, just the pot.
Right.
At this point, I said I'm going to throw it out one day. And one day I go in there, now I understand it's in the garage with no light and nothing at that point. All of a sudden, leaves are coming up.
Wow.
All right, it came back. So I said, wait a minute, it's not alive, it's not dead, it's alive. That plant now is 4 feet tall.
Shut the front door, really? Oh my goodness.
It's now 4 feet tall. I think it's a bamboo plant. I don't know what it is, but it is growing, taking over the house. And to me, it's a thrill. You said here was something that you were ready to throw out, and now look how it improves your life. You look at it every day, and you say, "What a miracle!"
Is it? Oh man, alive.
Flowers, and growing things are miracles.
Well, thank you for that. I appreciate you saying that because I truly believe it. I have a huge passion for my industry. I do everything I can to get the word out that flowers are good for your mental health, particularly during COVID right now. And you can't be in our city. We just got told we're not allowed to have anyone in our house that doesn't live there. Mm-hmm. So the only way to say I love you in some cases is to send a little bouquet over. And
yeah, great.
Right?
Great.
Yeah,
definitely. I think flowers can do that nothing else can do.
Oh, well, thank you.
No, they have. Let's face it, each one is different.
Yes.
They're not the same. A rose, if you say every rose is the same, it's not the same. It's got different coloration. It's got different size. Leaves are open different. It's a different experience.
That's amazing.
It's the same as far as the overall is concerned as to what it is, but it's different. And if you watch how it matures and how it proceeds, hey, that's life.
Oh, you know so much about our industry. I'm amazed. I'm thoroughly impressed, actually. That's wonderful. You've obviously really enjoyed it over the years to know that.
Oh yeah, I still do.
That's so great. Oh my gosh, I'm just absolutely flummoxed by it. I think that's amazing. And thank you for that. And thank you for your time today. I could talk to you all day. You're just
there you go.
To talk to.
Well, keep up. Start sending flowers to everybody. Everybody could use flowers.
Thank you.
Anything that can make their day a little better in this pandemic is very helpful. And certainly anything of beauty, which flowers are, it's wonderful. It's a change of pace, which is very much warranted.
Thank you. I 100% agree. This has been wonderful. And thank you for your time again. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Good talking to you.
You too. Take care.